for me. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Ms. Brazell, I want to thank you and your family for wanting to serve. By the way, I want you to maybe talk a little bit about your family and service. Your dad was a Vietnam vet, your husband served 40 years, I think. No, husband of 40 years, sorry.
40, yes.
You've served in the military. Can you give me a little sense of your military service and your family's military service and why you want this position?
Senator Sullivan, first I want to thank you for your leadership on Camp Lejeune.
Oh, I'm going to get to that. Trust me. All my colleagues are leaving too because I want them to hear it. But
I think
your service and your families, I think it's a big part of wanting to go join the VA.
it is. Again, services in my heart. It's in my I don't want to say DNA, but I grew up as a Air Force family member. We've been stationed everywhere. I was born abroad, and one thing that I remember about my dad is he was enlisted, and then he took his GI Bill and went back and got his degree when he was in his 40s. And I remember when he walked across that stage with his bachelor's degree, I looked at, me personally, I said, it doesn't matter what your age is. Education is a continuous journey. It's just like me. I just finished my doctorate. All 4 of my degrees I've earned at night school while working full time.
Good. And didn't you use the GI Bill too for some of your?
I did. I did for my first 2 degrees, my associates and my bachelor's.
Good. Well, thank you for your service and your family's service. It's not always easy. And when I say it's a family matter when you're serving your country, either in uniform or in an important position like this. So thank you. So let's turn to the Camp Lejeune bill. This is a real outrage from my perspective. I voted to provide the long-awaited relief for veterans and families who are affected by the water contamination at Camp Lejeune. And yet, the Biden administration, Department of Justice, now the Trump administration, Department of Justice, all predicted if you don't put attorney's fees, caps on the awards, that the trial lawyers would get all the money and the sick Marines and their families wouldn't get anything. And I know I know we have some VFW and American Legion Post members here, but this is an issue I've been fighting for because my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, to be honest, were more interested in giving their allies at law firms money, not sick Marines and their families. And I've been sick about it. It's the biggest issue, the biggest injustice I've seen in my 10 years in the Senate. Everybody knows about it. Everybody kind of looks the other way. I was not looking the other way. The Attorney General of the Biden administration agreed with me, saying this is an outrage. You can't have law firms, and you see them advertising all over the place, 70% contingency fees, 65% contingency fees, stealing the money from sick Marines and their families. It's disgusting. So can you give me your commitment to work with the Secretary, who's very committed to this, and the Attorney General, and I've had a lot of discussions with her, on at least where we are on the current contingency fees. Anything above that would be against the law, anything above 25%. I'm still trying to pass my bill to make those not so high. These aren't trials. These are kind of, already determined administrative procedures that under the law are very simple. I don't even think a lot of Marines and their families need attorneys. They can work through the Department of Navy and you guys. But can you give me your sense on that? It's an issue I care deeply about, and I've just been so disappointed how the other side of the aisle has thrown the Marines under the bus to help law firms. It's really disgusting.
Senator, no veteran should have to pay a third party to receive the benefits they've earned.
Especially if that third party's charging them 70% contingency fees, correct?
Agreed.
70% of the money goes to these law firms.
Agreed. And Senator, Camp Lejeune is very personal to me. My oldest brother was a Marine. I should say former Marine. and he was medically discharged because of his toxic exposure to the water from his independent trucking job about a decade ago. So it is near and dear to my heart, as well as all the other Marines, family members that served or lived on Camp Lejeune.
Is he still alive, your brother?
Yes, Senator, he is.
Good. Well, I
And
hope
he's watching today.
Good. Well, tell him Semper Fi. Tell him I have his back. Tell him not to sign up for any of these darn, law firms that are advertising. By the way, billions of dollars. Do you think they're advertising billions of dollars because they want to help guys like your brother? No. They're doing it because they want to line their own pockets. So can I get your commitment to work with me, at least the present way in which to make sure the Attorney General of the United States under President Biden said that if you're a law firm and you're charging more than 25%, they will go after you civil and criminal liabilities. We should be doing that. Can you get your commitment, Ms. Brazel, on that issue to work with me, work with this committee, and work with the Department of Justice to make sure that injustice doesn't happen to the Marines? They've already suffered through the contaminated water. We want guys like your brother to be whole. Can I get your commitment to work with me on that?
Yes.
Good. And we will work with you and make sure people like your brother serve the Marine Corps honorably. By the way, there's no former Marines, there's just Marines. That we'll work with you together on that. But I appreciate your commitment to that cause, and I appreciate you and your family's service.
Thank
you, Mr. Chairman.